My skills as an artist improved exponentially when I was in APA, not just from my technical capabilities, but from my performance skills as well. But also getting the opportunity to be a part of performances that have an extraordinarily high, almost Broadway caliber level gave me the artistic experience as a performer to really step into the professional realm.
One mentor that really stood out was David Gittell. To paraphrase one thing he says is, it's cool to care. It's like, it's really easy to be like, oh, the cool guy, laid back, who, you know, I don't want to seem like I care too much, but the coolest thing you can do and the most professional thing you can do is care about your work. And that stuck with me.
I'm very grateful that APA is a state-of-the-art performing arts high school. I was more familiar with leading technologies than a lot of my classmates were in college, and that kind of gave me the upper leg.
Almost every set I've ever been on, oh, you're like 28 or something. I'm like, no, I'm 22. Like, it's given me such a big head start on doing what I want to do, and it's also given me a way to look at things from a different perspective.
My time at APA really shaped my career in performing arts because it kind of honed me in on figuring out exactly what aspect of tech or of music that I wanted to do.
So honestly, I stumbled into APA and it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
So when I think of what I picked up at APA, you know, it kind of formed the human I am today. Because that was my high school experience. That was the people I hung out with. It was my culture. So I think I carry a lot of what it means to be, you know, an APA alumni with me today, whatever that magical aura might be.
It's a very weird playground, I feel like APA is. And with that, it's a time to figure out just who you are as a student, as a person, as a performer, as a technician, as a director, as a playwright, as a dancer. Whatever program the student went through, I think everyone has the same opinion that APA has provided a space to learn the fundamentals of how to be a professional.
I learned very quickly that my high school experience was very unique when I started going out there into college and into the real world. I learned that what happens here is a very magical place for kids to have a safe space to be creative and to learn what it is to be creative at a young age. The skills that I learned here still follow me to this day. The live production stuff that happens here on this campus is so state-of-the-art that knowledge has followed me.
Miss Andrea Taylor gave me the opportunity to audition for the ALE program in New York. I was like 16 years old and she took a group of us to go audition and I actually made it. And then she, you know, did her magic, sent some emails, and she was able to get me a scholarship. I spent the summer when I was 16 in New York and I trained, and a life-changing experience.
My experience at APA influenced my artistic craft, really working on the play festivals and dramatic production. That was when I was able to really figure out who I was as a playwright, as a director. That was, where I really figured out who I wanted to be as an artist.
Whenever we were performing in those shows, it was always like the best feeling of, you know, we've worked on this for months, it's finally coming together, and we finally have something that we can show for it. You know, I'd show videos of that to my friends once I got into college, and they were always just completely amazed and couldn't believe that somewhere like APA actually existed.
I would say the impact that APA and this program, like tech in particular, had on me is just the overall opportunity to learn and just teaching me how to learn new things. Like, we have every tool imaginable here, and I would have to learn how to use these different tools or create something, and that was kind of like a big stepping stone for me to then take all those skills and go into the industry. If it wasn't for the 4 years that I had here in high school, I probably would have not gone into the entertainment industry, and I'd probably be doing something else far less exciting.
I think the most memorable mentor that I had would be the obvious Jamie Knight, the director of MMET. I'm gonna start crying on camera, what's happening? He completely changed my life and saw so many things in myself that I didn't see. He trusted me as a junior in high school to take a whole Beach Boys album, figure out all the background vocals that they were doing, and gonna teach it to everybody. So I was a junior and I was terrified, and it ended up being a really, really fun show and completely changed my universe and taught me I could handle things far beyond anything I thought I ever could.
APA has had a huge impact on my career and personal development. It is awesome to have videos from my high school years that look like professional concert documentaries, honestly. So I remember in the moment just feeling really grateful and really lucky that I got to play on such a huge stage in an iconic auditorium with lights and sound and professional equipment and a good team of players around me, and I feel more lucky for that now looking back.
Being an MMET really helped me advance my skills as a vocalist and a songwriter and a performer and a guitar player, and I still use those skills to this day.
The schedule and like the vigorous training and the amount of time that I spent here prepared me exponentially for college and career, because a lot of other people don't come from programs this large and they don't do 3 musicals a year, and then if they're in dance they do 2 dance shows, or if they're in acting too they don't do that at most places, and that's essentially what APA does. It is preparing you for that next step or that higher education, and it did for me.